Food fraud exposed. 11 foods you won't believe are faked. Welcome to the bloody channel, you lot. Today, we're diving headfirst into the world of food fraud. You think you know what you're eating? Think again. Some dodgy swindlers out there are cutting corners and serving up absolute rubbish in place of the real deal. We're going to expose the biggest culprits, the fakes so convincing they could fool even a seasoned chef. Before we get started, make sure you've hit that subscribe button and ding the bloody bell so you don't miss out on our next expose. Get ready to be shocked. Liquid gold gone wrong, the shocking truth about olive oil. Let's kick things off with a kitchen staple olive oil. You see that bottle in your pantry labelled extra virgin? You think you're getting the good stuff? Don't be so sure. Many of these so-called extra virgin oils are diluted with cheaper oils like sunflower or canola. It's an absolute disgrace. You're paying a premium price for this adulterated garbage. So how do you avoid getting ripped off? Look for reputable brands for starters. Check the labels carefully and don't be afraid to do a bit of research. A good quality olive oil should have a vibrant green colour, a fruity aroma and a slightly peppery finish. Sticky business unmasking the honey trap. Honey, that golden nectar, nature's own sweetener, or is it? A lot of the honey on the market is about as genuine as a toupee in a hurricane. These culinary criminals are cutting real honey with cheap sugar syrups like high fructose corn syrup. Look for raw, unfiltered honey, the kind that still has all the pollen and enzymes intact. It might cost a bit more, but trust me, your taste buds will thank you for it. Be a honey connoisseur from now on. Fishy business, reeling in the truth about seafood fraud. Right, let's talk seafood. The seafood industry is absolutely swimming in fraud. Restaurants and shops are passing off cheaper, less desirable fish as premium varieties. They're slapping fancy names on these imposter fish, charging you top dollar for what's essentially bottom feeder bait. You think you're getting wild-caught salmon? Think again. It's probably farmed, pumped full of antibiotics. Buy from reputable fishmongers, ones who know their stuff and can tell you exactly where the fish came from. Ask questions, be vigilant, and don't be afraid to walk away if something seems fishy. Navigate this sea of deceit wisely. Wake up and smell the sawdust. That's right, your morning cup of coffee might not be what it seems. Some unscrupulous coffee producers are adding fillers to their ground coffee to increase profits. We're talking twigs, sawdust, even ground up corn. That bitter, burnt taste, that's not bad brewing. That's cheap fillers ruining your coffee experience. Buy whole beans from reputable roasters and grind them yourself. You'll taste the difference, I guarantee it. And if you're feeling really adventurous, try roasting your own beans. Milk, it does a body good, or so the saying goes. But what about milk that's been watered down, tampered with, or downright faked? Some producers are adding water to their milk to increase volume, which means you're getting less bang for your buck. Stick to trusted brands, preferably local dairies that you can research. Look for milk that's been minimally processed and don't be afraid to ask questions about sourcing and production methods. Your morning coffee, the real kind, with real beans, remember? Cheese, glorious cheese. It should be a symphony of flavour, a testament to tradition and craftsmanship. But sadly, even cheese isn't safe from the clutches of food fraudsters. Some cheeses are nothing more than cleverly disguised impostors, masquerading as the real deal. Instead of using real milk fat, some manufacturers are cutting corners by using vegetable oil. Look for the term real cheese on the label and be sure to read the ingredient list carefully. Avoid cheeses that contain vegetable oil, artificial colours or flavours. Remember, good cheese is an art form, not a science experiment. Wine, the drink of kings, the nectar of the gods. Or is it? Wine fraud is a billion-dollar industry. From diluting wine with water to blending inferior grapes with more expensive varieties, the methods of deception are as varied as the wines themselves. Some unscrupulous individuals even resort to creating counterfeit labels, passing off cheap plonk as vintages. The only way to be absolutely sure you're getting what you paid for is to buy from reputable wineries or retailers. Do your research, ask questions, and don't be afraid to spend a bit more for a bottle you can trust. After all, Life's too short to drink bad wine. Spices, the jewels of the culinary world, are meant to add depth and complexity to our dishes. But even these potent powders aren't immune to the scourge of food fraud. Take saffron, for example. This precious spice, often called red gold, is one of the most expensive in the world. Saffron is often adulterated with cheaper ingredients like turmeric, paprika, or even dyed flower petals. The best way to avoid spice fraud is to buy whole spices whenever possible and grind them yourself. You'll not only get a fresher, more flavorful product, but you'll also have peace of mind knowing that you're getting the real deal. Stay vigilant in your spice purchases. From concentrate to counterfeit, squeezing out the truth about fruit juice. Fruit juice, a refreshing and healthy drink, right? Well, not always. Many fruit juices are little more than glorified sugar water, made from concentrates, artificial flavors, and a whole lot of added sugar. Look for 100% juice on the label, and be wary of products that contain added sugar or high fructose corn syrup. Better yet, make your own juice at home using fresh fruit. It's easy to do and tastes 1,000,000 times better than the processed stuff. Maple syrup, that liquid gold that makes pancakes and waffles sing, is another food that's frequently targeted by fraudsters. Real maple syrup is a labor of love, made by tapping maple trees and boiling down the sap. Some producers try to cut corners by mixing maple syrup with cheaper sweeteners like corn syrup or high fructose corn syrup. Read the label carefully and look for the words pure maple syrup. Avoid products that list corn syrup or high fructose corn syrup as ingredients. Your taste buds and your pancakes will thank you. Chocolate, the food of the gods, the ultimate indulgence. But even this beloved treat isn't safe from the clutches of food fraud. Some manufacturers use very little actual cocoa butter in their chocolate, substituting it with cheaper vegetable fats instead. This results in a chocolate that lacks the smooth, creamy texture and rich flavor of real chocolate. Then there's the issue of fillers. Some chocolates are bulked up with everything from ground nuts and biscuits to whey powder and soy lecithin. Look for chocolate with a high cocoa content, 70% or higher is a good starting point, and a short ingredient list. Avoid chocolate that contains vegetable fats, artificial flavors, or excessive amounts of fillers. Remember, good chocolate should be a celebration of cocoa. Don't settle for less. Well, there you have it, you lot. The ugly truth about food fraud. It's a bloody minefield out there, but now you're armed with the knowledge to navigate it like a pro. Remember, always check your labels, buy from trusted sources, and don't be afraid to ask questions. Thanks for tuning in. You've been a fantastic audience. Don't forget to subscribe and share this video with your friends. Until next time, stay savvy and eat well.